Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Mindset Matters video here on the Waves of Communication channel. I'm back in my studio, and welcome for those of you who are joining me or joining me back or joining me for the first time. My name is Marci Melzer. I'm an intuitive, a speech language pathologist, and a language facilitation coach and consultant. I have found after working with thousands of families over decades as a speech therapist and language facilitation coach, I have found that it doesn't matter how many tricks and tips and even how many years you've been to speech therapy school, these mindset traps will block your entire process. And so that's why I'm doing this video today. And the video we're doing today is titled Garbage In, Garbage Out. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel have seen me use this as a hashtag when I talk about your language facilitation models, because a late talking child knows, as they are in this process of language facilitation, as they are developing new speech, they are using the process of listening to language models that they like, that they can use, that they want to try on their own and practice, and then they do that. They pick up what you're laying down. Now, they'll pick up whatever you're laying down, and it's going to reflect in their output. So when you talk super fast to a late talker, their speech is gonna come out garbled. As a matter of fact, on tomorrow's video, we're gonna be talking about what the effects are of garbage in, garbage out on the child. But today's video, we're going to be talking about garbage in, garbage out from a mindset perspective, because what I have seen over and over and over again in parents is that when you get misinformation, disinformation, you believe the wrong thing. When people are telling you untruths about your situation, when they are projecting their judgment, evaluation, guidance, just like you do on these late talkers in those times that you remember that you were prompting, over prompting because you wanted something to happen. Other people are doing that to you. It happens to us all 24/7, especially on our devices. So you have a choice of how you respond, react to whatever information's coming in, because there is a choice. There's a choice. As you can see on this video, I'm thinking about this woman, this first woman sitting down with tons of information coming at her. And when you hear too much or a lot or whatever's going on, then you could be confused about what to do as far as moving forward. And that's why people tend to watch those Thursday videos a little more than these. Now, how I'm going to address this with you today, the garbage in, garbage out situation that happens when you feel like, that's not really true. That's sort of garbage. You know, what to do about those situations, or what to do if you feel like you've been fed some garbage that someone represented as true, fact, real, data-based, evidence-based stuff, but it might be true for them, but not true for you. Because the thing about trash and garbage, when you think about rummage sales or estate sales or secondhand clothing stores, is one person's garbage is another person's treasure, and one person's treasure is another person's garbage. So what's coming at you, who determines whether it's garbage or not, is always you. So how I'm going to be talking about navigating the garbage that's surrounding you, because some of it is through three things. We're going to be talking about the astrology. I've got 3 videos in my top 3 videos to share from the Waves of Communication channel, and I've got my language facilitation inspiration cards. So even if you aren't watching live, you want to catch it on the replay, you have a question about this situation, I'll pull a card, and that question answer is for you, replay people. Okay, so when we talk about the astrology this week, there's not a whole lot of major stuff going on. We've got the sun and the moon right now are both in Cancer, just like they were at the new moon we had about a week and a half ago. The sun moves around every couple of days, every month, and the moon moves around every couple of days. And when they're together in a sign, there's a little bit of harmony going on. So you might be feeling, when this is going on in Cancer, you could be feeling the feelings. Cancer is all about feelings, and the sun is about how you project, and the moon is about internal. And your external and internal feelings could be feeling kind of balanced right now. We've also got Saturn in retrograde and Pluto in retrograde. And when those planets are retrograde about half the year, it happens a lot, it gives us time for introspection and redoing, kind of reevaluating some of the structures and what's changed. Saturn is structures, Pluto's what's changed. So what's changed in the structures, you might be finding the balance with that. Maybe you started language facilitation. I'm seeing a few people that really got started about a month to 6 weeks ago, anywhere in that first 3 to 6 week period. You could be finding your groove. You could be getting going with it. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes and throws a wrench in the works. Why are you doing that? How come you're talking so slow? Why do you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again? I think he heard you the first time, right? Because those 3 things that I just indicated are 3 very common strategies that parents use with late talkers, but they trigger other people who are more prompt based. Why don't you just make him do, right? And that's what you're moving out of and what someone else might be pushing you to do into. So that's what you could be feeling right now when this Cancer moon and whatever, you're feeling good about your thing, and other people could be trying to project their ideas, opinions, judgments, whatever onto you. So with these things, it's just important to stay balanced and stay informed, right? You don't want your emotions to run away with you, and the way that you do that is by keeping yourself informed about what's going on with me right now, what's going on around me right now, what's happening with the people surrounding me right now and coming up. So what I have done for you is I've got 3 videos, just like every week, from the Waves of Communication platform that sort of circulate around the main topics that tend to throw people off of their game and just put them in this state of confusion where I thought I knew what I was doing. Now I heard this new information. Now I'm not so sure. It's thrown me off my game. Now, it could be that your old game wasn't working and you need to be thrown off your game and to get into new things. But is what you're seeing what you believe? Now, the other reason that I put this up, the reason that I'm motivated to do this, before I get into these videos, sorry, I forgot that I wanted to show you something important. And this is what happened to me. I was on a road trip. I drove with my kids all the way from Florida, all the way up to Chicago and back. And on the way, I had the opportunity to see lots of billboards and signs in public places that are right there along the road as examples of how garbage comes at you from everywhere. Now, I am not an advocate for early autism anything. I don't think finding red flags and seeking diagnosis is the way to go. I do not agree with early autism intervention because it's most commonly billboarded because someone's trying to make money. And I don't know how else to say this. It's garbage. What these billboards are saying is garbage. Let me show you some examples of things that are designed to trigger you into fear-based and giving away your power, your work with your late talker to someone else and pay them money to do what they do. Okay, here's one. Now, I got these on the internet. I did not take these pictures myself. These are from all over, potentially all over the world. We're going to show you. Here's one that's on a bus stop. Avoiding eye contact is one side of autism. Think about you sitting at the bus stop with your child who is distracted by the street or worried about the dark, or, this is a dark street lit up at night with this sign intended for some parent to see because, right, it's a sign for parents. And you are already potentially worried about your child. Then you see these things and they trigger you to go back to worry again. It's a sign of autism. Are you missing the signs, right? Here's another one that I saw. This one is blatant, I'm telling you, money driven, and they don't hide it. They don't hide it. 1 in 50 kids with autism. We can help. Contact us today to sponsor a child. Give us money. This is Autism Society of the Keys. This is in the Florida Keys. Here are the red flags they have listed to tell you that your kid is one of the 1 in 50. And they're helping you diagnose your kid as you're driving on vacation to the Florida Keys, right? Where parents go with their families. So this autism clinic can solicit the retirees and the families to go down there and give money to these societies that are helping these kids by putting them into intensive behavior-based therapies 20 plus hours a week. That's how they're helping them with these scholarships and this money. And they need people to pay for it because no parent can afford that level of intervention. So they get literally people to sponsor you to take your kid to put them in the behavior therapy. I think that billboard is garbage. It's triggering, it's causing fear when a family could be watching out the window looking at palm trees and the beautiful ocean and the things like that and facilitating communication. You could have helped so many more families by putting up a billboard. If I had the money, I would, right? That says, here's how to interact with your kids at the Keys. If your kid, you don't even have to say is your kid's late talking. Parents know their kids are late talking. They're constantly looking at these signs. They don't need billboards to remind them to look at the signs. They need billboards to remind them what to do, not send it off, what to do they can do, not how to pan their kid off to some therapy or something, right? And that's part of what's really getting my goat. Now, look, I was looking on the internet for I just Googled billboards about autism, and here comes one in another language. So I know this is not just happening in the United States, it's happening everywhere, everywhere. There are billboards, there are signs, there are ads on the TV, on the whatever, that are designed to trigger fear into you and take your mindset off of, I can do this. It's easy when I connect with my child and facilitate what they need. They probably, you can bet this, are not nearly as bad as what these billboards want you to believe about your child, because they know you're not going to take action unless they make you feel like something is wrong with your child that you can't fix. It's the only way you're going to pay them money, right? Otherwise, you would watch YouTube videos, buy the workbook, and do it yourself, like people who watch my channel are doing. I know this. I know you. The people who write these billboards, they don't know the people who are parenting and caring for these kids. They are betting the fact that you don't know what to do, so you will pay them to do whatever they do. Who cares what they do in their clinic? It's not as good as you intervening every day with your late talker. So don't believe the garbage about 1 in 50 kids. It's true, 1 in 50 kids is being labeled with autism, but that's because of billboards and signs like I just showed you. Garbage that is influencing a parent's best judgment about their kids. So, all right, enough of the soapbox. Let me give you some strategies that are going to help you if this has happened to you. Number 1, video. 3 steps to turn frustration into facilitation, because there is nothing more frustrating than knowing what you know and have someone else say you're wrong about what you know about your child and you need to listen to us experts tell you, okay? And then when you're frustrated because your kid won't listen to you and you've taken that energy and triggered it onto your late talker, I promise you that's where frustration comes from. Because when you connect and you facilitate in the language facilitation zone, that frustration goes away. So you want to watch that video if you're feeling frustrated, kind of like I am. I just had to do a video to share, look, when you're frustrated, you have to communicate. Information is key. You think you're getting bad information? Test it, check it, okay? Now, here's the next one, answering your questions about autism diagnosis. By the way, all the links for these videos are in the description. And if you have heard, you believe those things on the billboard and you want to know why they exist and what's going on and all that stuff, all the details about what I just talked about are in that video there. Because, I know you have questions about how it happens and why it happens and why did my kid get diagnosed without my permission or on a 20-minute Zoom call or, all that stuff. And I promise you, when those things happen, it's all about the money. Somebody's trying to make money off your kid and you. Whether you pay them or the insurance company pays them, or like that billboard said, some kind sponsor pays them so your kid can go to their clinic. They don't care who pays them. They just want your kid to show up at their clinic so they get paid. And they want them to show up 20 hours a week so they get paid, okay? So here's what you do. If the therapists are not working, if you have been there and you did go that route and it's not working for you, do what Sonia did. She literally found the platform, started watching videos with the swapping the prompting challenge, and her 9-year-old child, who for years had been pushed in these programs, he got diagnosed, he got identified, he got labeled, he got put in that system, and they're not in the United States. And she saw nothing. She saw no improvement except for come again next week and give us a check, right? After 9 years, or let's say 7 years, because he was identified at 2 years old, of struggling to find whatever through these avenues, through the garbage she was fed by professionals, right? She said, no, thank you. I know better. I can find better. Okay. So that's what this is all about. When we talk about garbage in, garbage out, what are you listening to? Now, not everything is garbage, even every person. Maybe the clinic's not good, but some kind of good information can come out of there. It's up to you to be the garbage picker, because one person's garbage is another person's treasure. And I promise you, those ABA clinics who put up those billboards that I just showed you, they think my channel is garbage. They think it's worthless. I know, they tell me, right? They think that what I'm doing is some kind of waste of time because I'm not using evidence-based practice. They might tell you that what you're doing, well, okay, whatever, watch some lady on YouTube, whatever. What does she know? Okay. Let them think whatever they think. What matters is you. What matters is what you do with your kid and your life and what you believe is true. Because even two parents watching this channel might believe different things, and that's okay. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just telling you that I know people are intentionally feeding you garbage to prey on you, to take your money, to make you feel fear and disconnect you from your child, to say, give your child to me with your money so I can do what I do, because they're so empowered that they believe that they can somehow fix your child or change their diagnosis. I'm going to give you this diagnosis and then I'm going to show you how to take it away, right? That's what they're doing. Otherwise, why would you see value in them, right? That's why when we talk about what is trash or treasure, it's all about what you see as value, everybody. What do you see as important, okay? I'm not seeing any questions, but a couple people are watching. If you want a question, go ahead and post a comment. But this is for the replay people. This is for everybody who's watching me later or in the middle of the night when you've been fed garbage and you're like, what is this video? Oh, yeah, I saw that billboard. Comment if you've seen billboards. I know you have. They're all over, everywhere. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there they are, they're starting. And different states, as I moved from the South to the North, were more represented with this stuff than other states. I found that sort of interesting. So it could be unique to the places where I traveled, but I don't believe it. I think they're out everywhere. All right, let's see what the language facilitation messages from late talkers say about all of this. And they say, it's a messy situation. It's totally, I love how these cards work. Thank you, universe. Look at this image. It's messy, y'all. Out there, this information is messy. These billboards are messy. These clinics are messy. These systems are messy. And we need to clean up together. This is what this card says. Clean up together. Not very good there, Light. There it goes. Late talkers need coaching to help them navigate messy situations. Maybe you need coaching to help you navigate messy situations with strategies that they know are easy, safe, and effective. And that's why I made my workbook, because I know it takes easy, safe, effective strategies to navigate messy situations. All right, we got a mess. Let's just clean it up and start over. We got to have some cleanup time. You got to realize where the mess came from, okay? Present the facts of the situation. How did we get here? In loud and simple terms without emotion. Okay, this is it. I'm not interested, because they're going to be like, but you need to do this, and you're ignoring the facts, and what about the 1 in 50, and look at the data, and da 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 da, and you're like, okay, I get you, but I want to know, how does that 1 in 50 affect me and my child? Because global statistics don't matter to me and my household, because I've got my own problems with this late talker. That's what you need to see. Present the facts. This is what I'm dealing with. I don't care what you teach those other kids. How will this service help my situation, right? And just don't get emotional about it. That's the other thing. We got this sun and moon together in Cancer to help you stay balanced, right? We get the moon in Sagittarius and the sun in Cancer. There's a lot of whoa, all that kind of stuff like we had with those big full moons, that 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This is no, I'm confident. This feels right, inside, outside, all around. What I project is who I am and what I want. And you be firm about it. This is an orange card, your sacral chakra, what you are passionate about. Don't let somebody knock you off. They are just as passionate about trying to make as much money with that billboard as they can, that I am passionate about telling you to read between the lines and see what they're trying to do to you. Okay? Now, acknowledge the challenge. All right? We know we got somewhere to go once we get cleaned up. And offer support through the doubts and fears. What if we can't? What if it gets messy again? What if? Those are all mindset traps that come up. This is how we're dealing with these mindset traps. I just love these cards. By the way, the link to get these cards is in the description box. Demonstrate workable ideas with clear, easy instructions and encouragement to assist you. All right, I'll take the lead on this. Will you be my partner? Will you help me solve this problem? Because remember, that's how kids learn. That's how you learned when you were a kid, assisting your mom cooking. You didn't do it, she did it. You were watching her and handing her things, right? Or stirring or chopping or whatever, that she wouldn't let you do the hard stuff, but you were watching how she did it. The better than any YouTube video. And you could ask questions, or she would stop, ideally, and explain things to you, right? This is how you move forward with any feeling of, no thanks, I got this. You do. You got this, especially if you're working with the workbook. There are all kinds of videos on the channel that show you how to do these strategies. And then when you see them and you're like, yep, I'm doing that. Yep, I'm doing that. Yep, I'm doing that. That's your confirmation to know that you are. You got to watch these videos and stay with me. If you're not working with me, you got to stay with these encouragement, these mindset videos to stay on track, because it's not the strategies that you forget. I forget. How do you forget talking slow? How do you forget? Using full sentences. It's easy. What you forget is to do it, to make the change, to actually connect with the child. And that's how you do it. Okay, so that's it for today's mindset video. Not seeing anybody joining to ask questions, so hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up and share the channel, wavesofcommunication.com, with anybody. Remember, the workbook is available in 4 versions now, 3 languages. German's coming out later this summer, among others in the future, but I want this to be available to people all over the world. I'm also investigating Arabic as a translation because I know these are languages that are read in many, many countries, and I want this information to be available to everybody, because it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter if you're speaking more than one language, or what your child has been diagnosed with, or what you even suspect they have been diagnosed with. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is your connection with the late talker and the language models that you provide. So once you figure that out, you can facilitate better speech. Everyone can do it. These are resources available to you. Visit wavesofcommunication.com if you want to work with me, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.